Hello, I'm Lisa Tyler, host of Senior Connections. This is a monthly show sponsored by Senior Resources where we aim to give you great information about things for older adults in our community, wellness, health, all kinds of opportunities there, and lots of current information and what can sometimes be a really overwhelming network to try to figure out. So we're trying to help you navigate that, and every month we bring on somebody different to talk to us about something pertinent. This month I'm excited to have my colleagues at Tanglewood Park, Kara Zielinski, who is a wellness specialist with AgeWell Services, and Francine Kilcrease, everybody just knows her as Francine, who is a fitness specialist and dancer extraordinaire. We'll talk about that more. Both of them from AgeWell Services. May is Older Americans Month, and even though we're near the end of that, it's an important month, and it has a theme of age out loud, and that can mean so many different things, but we're going to talk about wellness and how older adults can age well, the name of our organization, and focus on that. So welcome, Kara and Fran. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
So let's start by getting to know both of you a little bit. We'll come to you later. Kara, you're relatively new to AgeWell, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What did you do before you came, and what do you do at AgeWell?
I am a recent graduate of my master's degree, so that was a big accomplishment in human services. Prior to coming to AgeWell, I was a program assistant and fund development specialist for Kids Food Basket. So basically, I wore lots of hats there, but a lot of data entry and donor relations and event planning. And prior to that, I was a prevention specialist at Child Abuse Council of Muskegon County. And I offered prevention education for child sexual abuse to children all the way through adults of all ages. Now at AgeWell Services, I'm the wellness specialist. So I focus on social, spiritual, and emotional, and intellectual learning opportunities. Basically, I organize our trips, social activities, social clubs, and services. We have free services like legal assistance, advanced directives, all of our programming on the wellness side, other than physical.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll talk for her about that. So that's a big switch. I know those other two agencies well from my from previous life. What made you interested in coming to AgeWell? It's a very different population than you were focused on kids.
Yes.
What was interesting to you about this position?
My passion is in wellness and education, prevention, just living a healthy lifestyle. And so the center of this position is what you can call whole person wellness. And I just really am passionate about that and helping people of all ages live healthy, active lifestyles and stay engaged in the community and avoid that social isolation or loneliness.
Great.
So, yeah.
Well, I know we'll talk some more about that because I know you've got a lot of ideas for things you want to do. How long have you been with AgeWell now?
Since December.
So relatively new, but that's exciting to come on and get some fresh eyes. So Fran, lots of our viewers know you. You teach classes. You've been part of AgeWell for how long did you tell me? 9 years?
It'll be 9 years in October when they first opened.
Wow. So when we, Senior Resources is in Tanglewood Park with AgeWell Services and with Life Circles PACE. I think we've talked about both of those lots of times. But so you came when they came over from Sherman Boulevard, which is where both of us were before. So you came along with the start of that. So lots of people will recognize you from different things. But tell us about what you've done in your role there, because has it changed since you've been there? Or?
I teach about 15 classes there. We have, the classes are anywhere, from 18 years old up to the oldest is, in their 90s, and it's great. We have different classes for them. We have slower classes for like sit and fit. We have stretching classes. We have ball classes. I teach a Zumba Gold. We have yoga. Just a lot of variety. It's just amazing to see, the age groups that we come around. And in the 9 years, it has grown in the classes. So, you know, it's so funny because I've been there for 9 years, and 9 years ago, I've seen the ladies that were younger and then coming up, and they've just gradually, you know, they're just going higher and higher with their classes. They're going from a slow class to a little bit higher
great.
class, and it's just amazing to see how they grow.
And you've been involved with fitness for far more than 9
Oh yeah,
years.
35 years.
35
I've
years.
been 35 years.
So I know you used to be a trainer, because you were my trainer briefly at
Yes,
a
yes.
now
I'm a
closed
personal
club.
trainer, still am. And I've worked with, you know, young, but I just love the seniors. I mean, it just gives you the, just to see how they are, and then it gives me, you know, looking forward to being like in my 70s and seeing how they are.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's got to be a lot of fun. You've got to be really passionate about it, because you are always exercising, and you're
Right.
always, which is how you stay in such great shape.
Yeah, and you hear me in the back.
I
but,
do. It's lots of fun.
But I try to make their exercise fun.
Yeah.
That's the middle word, is F-U-N, fun. Because if you don't like it, it's not for you, but it's something that you have to do it. It's like, I always tell people, it's like brushing your teeth. You have to have exercise in your life to make you feel good.
Right. So lots of people recognize you as a regular winner on Dancing with the Local Stars, which is that wonderful program that has happened how many years now?
We are going on 10 years now.
Oh, that's right. It's the
Yes, we
10th
just finished our
anniversary.
9th year.
So the Women's Division of the Chamber of Commerce has done that. It's a fundraiser and a fundraiser, I think, for food pantries and food-related causes in the greater Muskegon area. You have been a pro on that the whole time, all
whole
9
time.
years, right? So, and AgeWell is a beneficiary of some of the funding
Yes.
for this, so the
Yes.
last several years, which has been really great for the meals program. So you've done it the whole 9 years. The 10th is coming up. And how many trophies have you won during that time?
I've won 27 trophies
Wow.
in 9 years. And it's just fantastic, because the first year we collected $10,000, and this year we collected $126,000. And it's just amazing every year. It's just a wonderful
And it
cause.
sells out every
Yeah,
show,
this year
right?
really sold out.
Right. They do a Thursday, Friday,
And,
two
two
on
shows
Saturday?
on Saturday. Next year we're going to be doing 2 weekends in a row, because it was just so popular.
And they've got something special. Are you allowed to say what they're doing for the 10th, or is it?
Yeah, on the 10th year, we're going to bring all the alumni people. I've danced with 10 of my guys, and so far I have 4 people coming back, 4 guys coming back.
Right.
And
So you've got a lot of choreography to do then, because you choreograph the numbers, and then you
Right.
also are usually frequently involved in at least one of the
Right.
group. There's
Well,
always
we'll
a couple group numbers.
We'll
too, right?
take all the guys and do one number with them,
Okay.
but then like the pros will be doing something special
Okay.
this year, and yeah,
Lots of fun.
it's gonna be fun. Mhm.
So how much total, do you remember how much total they have raised over all those years? I know I should know
Oh
that.
gosh,
I don't want to put you on
probably.
the spot, but
I'm saying close to 600,000.
that's what I was thinking. It's well over $500,000. It's a
Yeah.
pretty amazing
Yes.
thing. So if you haven't ever seen it, I'm sure that you could YouTube some
Yes.
of the dances at least. And it's been lots of fun. And Fran always does a demonstration dance at Tanglewood Park right before that, and the room is packed with people wanting to see it. So anyway, so let's get back to wellness in older adults. Although we've had older adults in Dancing with
yes.
the Local Stars, certainly. But it's becoming a lot more important as our 60 and older population is about to boom. And the reason for that is baby boomers, because I'm at the tail end of that crowd. That segment of the population is projected to roughly double in the next 15 or 20 years. I think I just read that by 2030, they think about 20% of the population will be 65 and older. So wellness can mean so many things, and you touched on that, but can you go over that again, the different areas of wellness, Kara?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, my role focuses heavily on the social, spiritual, intellectual, and emotional side of wellness. Our programs offer a lot of that and the physical component. Our members adore Fran, so do I. And so my role is expanding that wellness. As I mentioned, the whole person wellness involves all of those dynamics. So different programming that touches on each of those.
Okay. And so AgeWell, while Senior Resources serves people primarily 60 and older and their families, AgeWell is a little bit younger with 50 and older primarily, although I know you have
Right.
classes and there are things for others. So lots of people know AgeWell for Meals on Wheels or the congregate meal sites, both of which, of course, are important to the physical aspect of wellness as well as the social part of it. But what about, let's talk a little bit about the Wellness Center, which is really not known as much as I think it could be still in the community, even though a lot of people know about it. Fran, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the fitness aspect? You touched on it a little bit, but let's talk a little bit more about some of those classes, because you teach 15, you said,
right.
But then you've got other instructors. You're
Right.
not the only person there.
No,
There's
no.
always something different going on when I walk down the hall.
There is. Well, with the fitness, we call it a membership, but it's a facility fee, and you don't have a contract. You can come in for $9 a month, and we get you started with an orientation for our small fitness room, just to get your body going. There's people that come in and they're depressed, or they've lost their husbands or anything else, and that's what we're there for. And we take them in there and show them the machines. We have computer room. We have a nice library that they just remodeled, and with the classes going, you don't have to do a membership, because we offer the classes for free first to try them before you buy them, and we have $5 drop-ins. And but it is neat, because it's like with the wellness office, it's just not teaching the fitness. Is our door is always open. And they come in, they talk to us. They call us on the phone, they need to be talked to. They come in, they're crying. That's what we're here for, because we have some down days too, and that's what they come and make exercise, and get that stress out. So.
Well, and I see a lot of people who are there regularly. And so in addition to the fitness, so you've got the Zumba, you've got Tai Chi going on there, you've got seated classes as well. So I see things where people are using the steps. They're laying on their backs doing weights, and sometimes they're on those big balance balls. And then my favorite is the drumming class on Fridays. So there's such a variety. But in addition, then there's wood carving and art classes and knitting groups and a card making and stamping group. It kind of seems like whatever the interests are of the members, something can form around that if they find a few people that are interested, right?
Right.
So let's talk a little bit more about those different levels of fitness, because you've said that you've seen people start slower and go up. So talk a little bit about what you have for everybody.
Well, we have the lower classes. So we have like the stretch and more. That's a seated class. It's nice and quiet. Gail Patterson, she teaches those classes. She also teaches a seated Zumba. So it's just shaking in the chair with music. Then we have a seated Hatha yoga, and Peter, he teaches all the yoga classes. We also have a Tai Chi. We're really stressing to get this Tai Chi out, because it's just so good for balance. It's a very slow Chinese exercise, but we really want people to come and try that, and maybe get the classes to get bigger, because it's just a very nice quiet pace and nice and slow. Then we have our medium classes. I do a sit and fit, and Misha also, she's one of the instructors, where we do it in a chair, but we can use hand weights, you use tubes, we use balls, just to get that body going. I mean, there's some people that can't even raise their arm, but it doesn't matter. You can take any of the classes and you can make it your own. We never say you can't be in that class, and we want you to feel as comfortable. I have a gentleman named Ed that comes to my class, and he had a stroke, and he's just in there pushing, and sometimes he just says, Fran, I just fall asleep standing up. I said, I know you do, and I just wake you up, and then you're going and doing that again, and we have a couple ladies that have really balance issues, but they don't want to give up. That's Silver Fun and Fit.
Right.
And that's a little bit more active for the more active seniors. But, you can stand, you can sit. And then we have Zumba Gold if you like to dance. It's a Latin, and there's no turns or no twisting, but they have fun doing it. All our classes are 45 minutes. We have beginner line dancing. We have intermediate line dancing, which Grace Gagnon teaches, and then she has the advanced, and she's very well known in the community too, that she goes out different places and teaches the line dancing. also. We have Donna, that's one of the Tai Chi teachers. She teaches on Tuesdays, and then we have Mary that teaches the Tai Chi at 10 o'clock on the Thursdays. And with our drumming, that is getting very popular. And I like to do different things. I do the cardio drumming, and if you're stressed out, come and beat the drum. But then we do a little bit of Zumba with it, and then we do some hand weights also. But I keep it variety going. There's even a Life Circles participant. The wife brings John in, and they love the music, and then she'll also do it. But it's just him coming in there and seeing that and putting a smile on his face. That is the best thing that we could ever see. Just to make, I want people to come in there and exercise and walk out that door with a smile on their face. I mean, it is just, I'm just so
you're
passionate.
getting to the emotional
Yes.
part of you're concentrating on their physical,
Fitness.
but at the same time it's really helping their emotional and their social, because I have seen just in the 20 months or so I've been there, the tight-knit groups there are with some people that are always coming in, and they're eating lunch together in the cafe afterwards, and they're talking. They come into the library area and talk before, and the friendships that are made, I imagine, are incredible there.
It's fantastic. I mean, because when we don't see somebody for like 2 weeks, and she'll know, I'll get the cards out, or I'll call them, or we'll know that people have surgery, and we get those cards out, the get wells, and if we don't know that you're gone, you know, we don't know to do that, but we try to remember everybody's name that we can find out, you know, what's happening with you, because, you know, we really care about these people. And like I said, that's the social act, because a lot of people have lost their husbands and wives, and when we find that out, we get them out here and say, this is what you need. You know, come cry with us, come beat the drum, or come exercise with us.
So it really is. I think that's what people don't necessarily realize. They might go because they're really worried about staying physically fit, and they're not realizing what it's doing for the other parts of them. It's still, you know, they might go there for a class and then realize that there's a computer lab and that they could learn to do something there and stimulate the intellectual parts of it.
Right.
The social part, the emotional part are definitely, I imagine, being stimulated. And the music is so fun. I mean, I don't know, a lot of other 80-year-olds are probably listening to Bruno Mars unless they're in your classes. I mean, they're listening to what my 16-year-old and I listen to. But it's a lot of fun. You can't help but want to move when you listen to that music. And it's never, but I imagine for some of them it's music they wouldn't listen to otherwise, but it's fun and upbeat, and it makes them feel younger because they are listening to contemporary music, I would imagine.
You know, when I first got there, there was a lot that were afraid, because there's been people that have been with us ever since we were 9 years, you know, and there, and they came up to me and said, you know, I was really afraid of you, and then after that I got to know you, you know, and when they tell you that, it's like, oh, but I didn't. I'm not there to hurt them. It's I want you to have fun and exercise, and you know, you don't want to be stagnant. You want to improve and say, hey, I did that soul class, but I'm going to move up to a little higher class.
Right, and you always, and I've taken your classes before. You always say, do what you can. So if you can't do all the movements, do the part you can. You don't want to hurt somebody, but I would imagine after they get doing that, then they can do some things that they didn't realize they could. So. Kara, let's talk about some of the new things that you want to do, because I know you've got some ideas. And so we've talked about there's computer, there's art classes. They do some amazing artwork in those classes. There's, you know, they can come in and use the library. There's, of course, all the fitness things. But what other things do you have up your sleeve? What are you thinking?
I have some very fun, new, exciting things for the next session. So we go in 3 months. So July, August, and September I'm planning for right now. We will have some of our free services, bringing in vein restoration again, so they'll do vein screenings, complimentary. I will have Walgreens in to do a wellness, health and wellness question and answer type presentation. We'll also have oral health screenings by the Muskegon Dental Coalition. That'll be complimentary health screenings and education. I'm also bringing in some travel, trying that out. I know we used to have it, but it had gotten fallen off a little bit. So expanding that, bringing it back, starting out with a couple day trips. So August 7th, we will go to the Michigan Heritage Museum, and then to the Lakeshore. Yep. and then to the Lakeshore Museum for lunch and a tour there, and then to the Muskegon Museum of Art.
Oh, wonderful.
And that will include transportation, admission to those museums, and a box lunch for $40 for members, $45 for non-members. And then we will also be taking a trip to Art Prize this year.
Oh.
So I'm excited about that. That'll be Wednesday, September 26th. And it'll be a day trip, $20 for members and $25 for non-members for the full day, but lunch is on your own for that one.
But that's really smart because you're pretty much paying for transportation, and that's the biggest nightmare of getting to Art Prize. I love Art Prize, but driving around Grand Rapids can be a little disconcerting for people, so I think that's a really great way to get some older adults in there who don't have to worry about that part, but they can pick wherever they want to eat, and there's so many great choices.
Exactly, and transportation was a big barrier as well.
Absolutely.
But like you said, the parking, we get good parking being on a
Right,
bus,
right,
so I'm
absolutely.
excited for that. Also bringing in AARP for their safe driving course, August 16 and 17. And that is $15 for AARP members, $20 for non-AARP, but they do offer discounts through certain specific insurance companies if they take the course. So that's exciting. And also, we have currently acrylic art classes, but I want to expand the art program a little more, so I'm going to try a pottery class in September, Monday, September 18th as well.
You did a throne pottery class last year. That maybe was before you got there. I think they've done one of those. And it seemed like it was very well received.
I think so, and they did more of a cup or bowl, she explained. So this one we're going to do ceramic tile pottery with stencils, and she said she has thousands of stencils, and they can do whatever they want and get very creative. So I'm
some really
excited.
cool new things. So I'll make sure I get some of that information to get on our website as well to help with that. But if you're looking for some new projects, it sounds like there's some great opportunities for outings and to expand your horizons. And again, those different areas of wellness that we want to keep people talking about. Fran, I know that you've seen some great successes in your wellness program. I know you've got a shirt for somebody hanging on the wall. So talk to us a little bit about what you've seen. I know you've said you've seen some people move up there, but do you have any, without sharing details,
No, and that's
somebody's name, any good stories to tell about?
Yes, first of all, I have to say hi to Shorty because he always watches us, so we want to say hi to Shorty.
He's always walking through the building. In all
He's
the
walking,
different
gets
rooms.
there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have our great 7 o'clock in the morning people. Yes, the T-shirt was called Body by Fran. He was a well-known, he used to work at the cinema, and Mike Zimmerman, wonderful guy, and he was so excited. He came in one day and said, Fran, I lost 40 pounds because of you, and I had made this T-shirt. So it was exciting, so I just took it off the board, but he did pass away, but he was just a wonderful memory and just a wonderful guy.
And he did that just by having fun.
Yeah.
Coming to classes. It probably wasn't
He
necessarily
went to the
full-
fitness room. He went to the fitness room, and but I'd always give him some encouragement and stuff. So it was very exciting when he brought that that T-shirt, and then we even made it in the paper. So I was, overwhelmed. And I do have some success stories because I have a couple people that have had stage 4 cancer. And it's just amazing that they get their treatments and they're there the next week coming and exercise. They do not want to give up. And we've seen them on their down low, we've seen them on their high low, we've seen them where the cancer stage 4 is no more. And we have had a big party for them, and we just found out we have another one too, and we're their cheerleaders. We really are. And he's doing the same thing. He's coming to classes, and then we'll just cheer him on when he has his treatments, and he's back the next week. And then we've had people that lost their husbands and their wives, and we give them a couple weeks, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll give them a call, and they'll come back. If you're in your 90s, you get to come in for AgeWell for a free class. And we'd love to share that 90, with you because that's just awesome. It really is.
So how old are some of the oldest people you've had in your classes?
think the oldest one was 95.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's got to be
And
inspirational.
there's some people that were coming and they go to discount dining and he's like 98. But you wouldn't even,
Yeah.
you couldn't tell it.
It's
Yeah.
always interesting to me what a diverse age group there is in the classes, because sometimes people who are working in your office, so 20-somethings will be in there, but then you've got 50s and 60s and virtually every decade in
Yeah.
most of those classes, and I would imagine that's got to be a really great experience for everybody, young and old, because I would be the first to admit, until I came to work at Senior Resources, I didn't give a lot of thought to the older adult population, other than family members and things. And
Right.
so I, like you, become really inspired by what I see. And those classes always are where I look at them and go, my goodness, my mom's in better shape than I am. She's walking more and doing different things. And so I think that that's got to be really beneficial for everybody there.
Yeah. My oldest is 83, and he's in my weightlifting class. And he has 2 10-pound weights on each side of the bar. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
just amazing. And does regular jumping jacks. And he's in my boot camp. And yeah, when you see that, it's like, oh, I have hope. So they are very inspiration.
I would imagine
It's
just in your
wonderful.
9 years, you've seen some improvements, a lot of improvements in how people are living longer. But we're all living longer. The fastest growing segment of the older adult population is that 85 and older
Oh,
group.
yes.
And that's probably because of places like AgeWell Services that have these things that we're, and as the rest of us are aging and we're into that, you and I are into that AgeWell Services category of that, we want to make sure that the years in our life, the years we have left in our life, have life in our years as well. So, well, I know we're running short on time, but Kara, I wanted to just briefly touch on the other aspect of for about a minute, the other aspect of your job besides wellness is you are the coordinator of the Tri-County Protection Team. And I know we've got an event coming up for the public this fall. And well, we don't want to go into details. Maybe let's talk briefly about what that looks like a little bit.
That will be a senior symposium, and it will be at the Falkirk Community Hub on Tuesday, September 25th. It will be about a 9 a.m. to noon day, and there will be education and presenters and vendors there for the senior population. There'll be different raffles and things for visiting the vendors, and the educational pieces will mainly focused around protecting your identity and financial exploitation and scam warnings and things like that, and how to really protect yourself from being exploited or abused, because it does happen. It is out there.
It happens far too much. So I know I went to it last year, and we have like a state trooper who talks about that scams, and they're always changing. There's always somebody. There's that one about calling and pretending to be somebody's grandson is still out there years later. So again, tell us that date one more time.
Tuesday, September 25th.
Okay, so look for more information on that from AgeWell, from Senior Resources, in the Senior Perspectives newsletter. It'll be publicized well, but it's very worth attending, and Falkirk Community Hub is just around just a half a block away from us. So as we're finished, I want to thank you both for coming. This half hour goes so fast when we're sharing good information, but thanks for sharing the inspirational stories and the great things we have coming to look forward. Let's remind people, if you want more information, you can call the Wellness Office directly at 231-733-8643. That's 733-8643. That'll take you right to the wonderful people in the Wellness Office and find out more about anything Fran or Kara talked about. If you can't remember that number, you can always remember to call 211 and they will get you to the right place. In the meantime, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next month.